You said that doctors look at historical, I can't remember because now I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you said something about past experiences
Yes.
as they're looking at potentially root causes. So can you say more about what you mean in your
Yeah,
world when you say looking at past
absolutely.
experiences?
Yeah, the functional medicine doctors, and I can speak so much to this because as a functional medicine trained health coach, this is like we are taught the tools that the doctors get taught because
Mhm,
we need to understand them and then be able to take that and then coach with the person. So
mhm,
it's just a phenomenal tool. What they have is an actual timeline, it's a graph, and they're filling it out actually while they're talking to you. They're pulling and extracting this data through different questions, but you might say, uh, you might say something like, my birth, everything was fine. And well, what does that mean? Fine. Well, it was a C-section, and and then you find out a little bit more, and you find out maybe their mom wasn't able to nurse and they wanted to nurse. Okay, so right away there's an indication. Ah, interesting, right? So they're jotting everything down. So okay, was formula introduced? So they might be coming to you with maybe some gut health issues, and we're backtracking. The doctor is discovering from time of birth what happened, what was the birth story, could this be contributing to what's going on right here. Some, I've seen with some clients that I've had, there's some stuckness around some things, and it could actually go back to their birth story. There's a lot of people with digestive issues that it was because of antibiotics they were on for the first couple of years of their life, and they've been trying to figure out, why is my immune system not well? No matter what I do, I cannot seem to be well. I've had a lot of difficulties with my digestive system. Well, when you look back, did they ever have a chance? you know
mhm,
with all the antibiotics in the first couple of years, their immune system wasn't even able to build up on their own. So these are good pieces of information to know. But also when it comes to trauma, and there's little, as a trauma specialist, like that we, and I am not, so this is outside of my scope of practice, but it's important for me to be able to identify
mhm,
the mini traumas, the major traumas, so that we can then refer out to trauma specialists,
mhm,
but also help them become aware of what that is.
mhm.
How does that feel that happened, whatever it happened, and do you see possibly a link to this? Do you feel like it might be good to speak with a trauma specialist so you can work through some of this?
Mhm.
These are often questions that come up in my coaching because a lot of people identify thinking trauma has to be some major,
Yeah, and definitely not.
and that's
Honey,
not what
breaking up with your boyfriend last week could have been and that's why I don't like the word trauma because it kind of assumes that it's some super major thing, but life is hard, right? And so it's the life
exactly.
hardness,
Yeah, I'll
right,
raise my
that kind
hand
of
twice.
factor.
I've had lots of traumas, lots of mini traumas in my life. And I think we're starting to normalize that a little bit, to start to
Yeah.
have conversations around it. But when it comes to the functional medicine, and the functional medicine health coaching in particularly, which is my role, it's important to know what's happened in their life because all of that attributes to a person's health and wellness in mind, body, and spirit.
Mhm.
It's not just the physical conditions, but what's happening mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.